up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Caged Review. We're going to look at SmackDown Live, and it's for March 6th, 2018. And of course, I've got my notes. I was kind of multitasking this evening, so I wasn't able to give it my full attention, but I did try to pay attention to each segment at least a little bit, and see what I thought of the promos, the action. So I can give you a pretty good idea of what the show was like. And at the same time, I'm snacking. I'm healthy snacking. Frozen yogurt bars. They're actually really good. But anyway, starts out Charlotte and Ruby Riott doing a promo. They're doing a back and forth. And Charlotte's pretty good at promo work regardless. Ruby Riott, haven't seen a lot of her work. I actually liked it. I think she's got personality. And it comes across like she really knows how to handle a mic. And there was a couple of really good jabs that Ruby Riott made about when she beats Charlotte, she's just going to be another cute blonde using her daddy's name. So I like that. I did. Thought it was really good. Then, of course, the Riott Squad are going to pop in the ring. And then, oddly enough, Charlotte Flair's partner in the mixed tag matches, Bobby Roode's music hits. And he comes out on the ramp. And that's kind of where it cuts to commercial. And then when you come back from commercial, it's Bobby Roode on commentary while you have a match in the ring with Randy Orton, one of his opponents, and Jinder Mahal. The match itself, I mean, everybody kind of knows that I'm not big on Jinder Mahal as a wrestler. He's very stiff. He's not a guy that I gravitate towards. So, wasn't wholly invested in the match. I think Jinder Mahal has been in the upper echelon for far too long. I don't know that he genuinely deserves it. And the fact that he was WWE champion for so long, I think they're, trying to make him at least somewhat deserving, trying to make him seem like, okay, he's still an upper mid-card guy, which I don't even think he's that, to be honest. I really don't. I just don't like Jinder. But, of course, there's interference in the match. There's a couple of things that go on. Jinder tries to throw Randy Orton into Roode. Orton reverses it, throws Jinder into Roode. Roode pops up on the apron. Orton knocks him down. Jinder hits the Colossus. So, not only is Jinder still in the upper mid-card, he's still beating the likes of Randy Orton. I don't know what to make of that, honestly. I figured after his title reign, because initially this whole title reign was because they were, starting the WWE network in India, and it was kind of a way to connect that many people to the product. But now that that's done, do we really need this much Jinder Mahal? I don't think so. So, wasn't a big fan of that. And then the next bit you get, I really did not like for a lot of reasons. Your one show, this is the lead-up show to Fastlane, the go-home show, they call it. And so I think this is a show you would want to use all your guys to the best and most of their ability. Instead, they do a promo that the Usos and the New Day did last week. It's literally the promo that they did last week, cut with scenes from each team. I thought that was horrible. The reason I thought it was horrible is because, like I said, the promo was already done. All you're doing is adding some visuals to it. You're repeating exactly what you did last week. 2, this time could have gone to some genuine promo work, or to maybe building another character or to adding more to a storyline. I thought this was a really stupid idea. It was a complete filler section. It was like they had no ideas, nothing to do with this amount of time. Didn't make sense to me whatsoever. Didn't like it. Then they're doing a Nakamura interview backstage after that. Rusev says, "You hurt Aiden English, my singer, blah, blah, blah." Challenges Nakamura to a match at Fastlane. Nakamura accepts. So now we have Rusev versus Nakamura at Fastlane. Don't know where this could go, really. I mean, really nowhere. It's a filler. And so, I don't know that anybody's going to be really invested in it. It's cool that they're letting Rusev do something because God knows he hasn't really done much lately. So I'm glad to see Rusev getting a spot, but I mean, it's a filler on a pay-per-view. And I really don't think anybody expects Rusev to win. I don't. Nakamura's got to go into WrestleMania with a lot of momentum, and if they don't do that, they're stupid. And then you have Becky Lynch versus Carmella. I'm not a fan of Carmella. Carmella, a lot of people like. She's a good talker, I'll give her that. But when she gets in the ring, she's a bunch of open hand slaps and a bunch of screaming, high-pitched squeal screaming. She takes the women's division back 10 years. This is straight up Divas division shit. I'm not a fan of it. I think she really needs to try to refine her craft in the ring. It's my opinion. I know it's hard work. I understand that there's a lot of things that people have to get over. Not everybody can be the perfect WWE star. But, like I said, her matches are slaps, kick them when they're down, and a lot of screaming. It's just annoying. Just annoying. There's no entertainment value to it whatsoever. So this match was carried by Becky Lynch. Thank God Becky Lynch won clean with the disarmer. So I like that. But other than that, didn't care. After that, we have a bit backstage with Natalya and Naomi. And Naomi's saying, "Your girl lost again." And they decide to make a women's tag team match. And I think this was for Fastlane, where it's supposed to be Natalya and Carmella versus Naomi and Becky Lynch. Natalya, I absolutely love her. She is one of the best in that ring. She really is. In her prime, especially, she is incredibly technical. First woman to graduate the Stu Dungeon, which, if you know anything about that, was a very hardcore wrestling training school by Stu Hart and the Hart family. So I automatically have respect for Natalya regardless of anything else. So honestly, putting her with Carmella's like, really? I mean, they could be the best of friends, and Carmella could be the sweetest person on the planet outside. Anything I say is not obviously personal because I just go by what I see in the ring and on the mic. Same with Nia Jax. I'm very outspoken about her recklessness in the ring. That says nothing about her as a person. But same with Carmella. I'm not a fan. She needs more time she needs more practice. I think right now she should be in NXT, not SmackDown. Personal opinion. But anyway, that's the match setup, it looks like, for Fastlane. You have 3 very good wrestlers and one that I'm not too crazy about. So, you go from that to a promo in the ring with AJ Styles talking about how, 6-pack challenge, he's definitely under the gun. He's got to win this so he can go on to face Nakamura and do things the right way. He was talking about John Cena's comments about, Cena winning, and then AJ getting his rematch clause later that night. And AJ's like, "I don't want to do that. I want to win, and I want to face the best." And I agree. I don't want to see John Cena in that match. I want AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura at WrestleMania. It's sure to knock them down. They will absolutely tear the house down with that one. So, don't add John Cena to that match. That's as much as I can say there. That's not anything I want to see. Really not. So, Dolph Ziggler interrupts. And he starts jaw-jacking AJ, and AJ's like, you know what, we're supposed to have our main event at the end of the night, at the last main event of the show. Why don't we just do it right now? So the commercial break, they come back, it's AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler. Two talented guys in the ring. You expect it to be really good. It's actually not as good as I thought it was going to be. And I don't know if they're just like saving it for Fastlane or whatever, but it was decent. I mean, it was, you know, these two guys are great performers. So at the worst of days, they're still going to have a decent show. But at the end, Owens and Zayn come down. They interfere. It's a double disqualification. And Shane McMahon, music hits. He comes out doing a Shane McMahon bit. And he's like, since you guys want to interfere again, you're going to get back in the ring. Except this time it's not going to be a tag team match. It's going to be a fatal 5-way with Baron Corbin. So AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler is now AJ Styles versus Dolph Ziggler versus Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn versus Baron Corbin. I like matches like this. I like it when it's a lot of people and there's a lot of things going on. It keeps the action pretty fast and furious. It gives guys time to rest outside the ring or in the corner or whatever. And then you have spots with certain guys coming in and doing the thing, and then you have moments where you're just everybody's trading moves. I like matches like that. I think it's really cool. So this was fun. It was entertaining. And at the end of the match, Kevin Owens is in the corner by himself. Everybody else is out of the ring except for Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn's like, you know, this is me and Kevin Owens, and if Kevin Owens wants me to, I'll lay down and he can win the belt at Fastlane. Instead, at the end of the match, Sami Zayn hits Kevin Owens with a helluva kick, pins him, wins the match. I was surprised that they gave the match to Zayn. I'm really glad they did. I do believe he is one of the most underappreciated wrestlers on the roster right now. He's working his ass off on promos. He's getting a lot better at promos. I mean, I don't care what you think about him or his size. You have to give the man his due. He is working his ass off right now, and I think it's paying off. And the guy can wrestle in the ring. He just can. So I was very, very happy to see that. And then he does a promo at the end. And actually, kind of going against what I just said, this promo was actually kind of weird in a little way. But at the end, he's saying, you know what? Come Fastlane, I've got Kevin Owens, but this tonight was about me showing that I am the best, that I can win it. And that's where it cut out. And that was the end of the show. So, I mean, really, the second half of the show was the AJ Styles Dolph Ziggler promo leading into their match, leading into the Fatal 5-Way. And all that was very good. What I didn't like about the show was, like I said, I think they had too many repeats. They did a segment that was showing everything that had happened on Raw, and you know, it was just a repeat. And then they had this literal repeat whole entire segment with some new visuals between the Usos and the New Day. I thought that was just a waste of space. It's really hard for me to rate this one. I think because the way the second half went, I'll probably give it a 5 out of 10. Unfortunately, that's about all I can give it. Some of the pacing, especially at the first hour, was just weird for me. I'm not a fan of certain stars. And I try not to judge my ratings on the fact that I don't like a particular star that they're using, or 2 or 3 particular stars that I'm not a fan of. But at the end of the day, Jinder Mahal has just been rehashed way too much. Carmella is not a wrestler yet. Sorry. And rehashing stuff you just did is pointless. So that's why I kind of feel like it's a 5 out of 10. SmackDown has definitely been lacking compared to the last couple of few months. I don't know why. And I always say that I'm just a fan. I'm not like a Dave Meltzer who thinks he knows everything about the business. I think that's a crock. I just look at it as a fan, as what I like. And unfortunately, sometimes I do try to, think like maybe someone in the business, like, with people getting hurt from reckless wrestlers and things like that. But other than that, I'm just a fan. And these are just opinions. And you know what? I buy my pay-per-views. I put the money in. I go to live shows. So, I put the money in to have an opinion. I support the product. I support the wrestlers. I have gear. I actually hate to say that when Ryback was getting his first push, I was behind him and bought a bunch of his stuff. Kind of wish I hadn't now, but whatever. But that's how I am. If I see a wrestler I like, I'm going to buy his stuff. If I try to support whatever it is I love. And so, me being a consumer, I'm like, okay, it doesn't give me the right to judgment. It's not like it gives me any kind of inside track, but it's like, okay, I'm buying your product. This is what I think of your product. And I think that's important for me to get across to people, because I don't ever want somebody to be like, oh my God, this guy thinks he's a junior Dave Meltzer. No, absolutely not. I'm a fan of wrestling. I love it. I love to hear other people's opinions about it. I love the feedback, the back and forth. And it's funny because there are people that, give me their opinion sometimes, and I'm just like, I don't understand it. Because Sami Zayn, there are a lot of people who are not a fan of Zayn, who say he looks like an Uber driver, whatever, and he kind of does, okay, it's funny, but the guy is great in the ring. And if you don't like a star because of their body build, you need to get out of the 1980s. It's not that anymore. It's just not. I would much rather be entertained by a guy who knows how to tell a story in the ring, but also can put on a really good visual match. And that's where guys like Seth Rollins and AJ Styles and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, even though he's kind of a big guy, he can really move and do some great moves, and he's not afraid to put his body on the line. Finn Balor. These guys have highly entertaining matches. And that's what I gravitate towards now. The whole wrestling dynamic has shifted from when I was watching. I started in the 80s with the Hulk Hogan's, the Andre the Giants, the Brutus Beefcakes, all of them guys, early Shawn Michaels, into the Attitude Era, of course. And that, I think, is most people's favorite time in wrestling, because there was so many great things happening. You had WCW coming in with the NWO, and that was a storyline that we haven't seen here in the States before. The Attitude Era, it was just amazing. Even the mid-card guys would be like top tier nowadays. And that's just the way. Well, and let's look at the mid-card guys from the Attitude Era. You had Edge, Christian, Chris Jericho, the Benoits, the Eddie Guerreros. These guys were not top guys most of their careers. And at least until after the Attitude Era. Edge really came into his own for sure. And we've grown to have so much respect for, Guerrero for sure. But, now in today's market, like every one of those guys would be a top guy for sure. They all can work on mic. They can all talk really well. They can all put on a hell of a match. So, yeah, it's just a different dynamic nowadays. So anyway, I'm kind of getting caught in a, rambling session about my opinions and why I share them, and, the changes in wrestling. But being a fan as long as I have, hey, I love to talk about it. I love to share my thoughts. And like I said, guys, I love to have feedback. If you guys are watching this, give me your thoughts. I mean, definitely share your thoughts with me on everything wrestling, because it's been a love of mine for a very long time. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this review, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. My name is Kevin Jackowitz. Cage Nation out.